sun. At least until I arrived.
Oh, he was a wonderful cellist.
He was a wonderful everything.
Far too wonderful.
I liked him.
I was terrified of him. I was terrified of all the boy wonders you had here. You were all so intelligent and accomplished. Promise was there. I remember the rest of us had to work in the general study hall. Promise and a private office space of yours, like an electron on the inmost orbit around the atom. Never liked my physics stuff. He thought you could explain everything about the atom through classical mechanics.
Well, he was wrong.
And very soon the private office was vacant.
And there was another electron in the inmost orbit.
And for 3 years we lived inside the atom.
Other electrons all around us, all over Europe.
Max Born and Pascal Jordan and Göttingen.
Schrödinger and Zurich, Fermi in Rome.
Chadwick and Iraq in England.
Polio and de Broglie in Paris.
Gamma and Landau in Russia.
Everyone in and out of each other's departments.
Papers and drafts of papers on every international mail trip.
Do you remember when Hauptschmidt and Uhlenbeck did spin?
One last quantum variable in the quantum state of the atom. No one could quite make sense of the last hurdle.
These two crazy Dutchmen go back to this ridiculous idea that electrons can spin in different ways.
And of course, the first thing everyone wants to know is what line route Copenhagen takes.
I'm on my way to Leiden as it happens.
I do great papal progress, and then you stop at Homburg.
And Pauline Sterner on the platform to ask what I think about spin.
And you tell them it is wrong.
No, I tell them it's very
Interesting.
I think that's precisely the word I chose.
Then on to Leiden.
And I met at the Berry by Einstein and Ernst. And I changed my mind because, well, Einstein, you see, I'm the Pope. He's God. Einstein makes a relativistic analysis, and it resolves all my doubts.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting in for Max Born at Göttingen, so we make a stop on the way home there.
And you and Jordan meet me at the station.
Same question, what do you think of spin?
When the train stops in Berlin, there's Pauli on the platform.
Book game Pauli, who hardly gets out of bed if he can avoid it.
Who's already met me once at Hamburg on the journey out.
He's traveled all the way from Hamburg to Berlin, purely in order to see you around the second time.
Find out how my ideas on spin have developed en route.
Those years. Those amazing years. Those 3 short years.
From 1924 to 1927.
When I first arrived at Copenhagen.
When you departed to take up your chair at Leipzig.
3 raw, bracing northern springtimes.
At the end of which we had quantum mechanics. We had uncertainty.
We had complementarity.
We had the whole Copenhagen interpretation.
Europe back in all its glory. A new age of enlightenment. With Germany in her rightful place at the heart of it. Who led the way?
You and Neil.
Well, we did. We did.
And that's what you were trying to get back to in 1941?
Something you said, something you thought. Almost catch a glimpse of it out of the corner of my eye as we talked. Something about the way we worked, something about the way we did all those things.
Together.
Together, yes. Together.
No.
No. What do you mean, no?
Not together. You didn't do any of those things together.
Yes, we did. Of course we did.
No, every single one of those things you did when you were on your own. You first worked out uncertainty when you were on Heligoland.
I remember it was the summer. I was just getting over my Hayden.
And on Heligoland, on your own, on a tiny island in the middle of the sea, you said at last you were able to think.
My head finally began to clear. Suddenly I had a very sharp picture of what atomic physics ought to be like. I realized that we had to limit it to the measurements we could actually make, the things that we could actually observe. And what we couldn't observe were the electrons in the inmost orbit around the atom.
Any more than Niels could see the thoughts in your head, or you the thoughts in Niels'.
So we had to limit it to the effects that the electrons produce on the light they reflect.
But the difficulties we were trying to resolve were ones we explored together. Over dinner in the flats, on the beach at Sevilla.
Yes, but I remember when the mathematics first began to chime with the principle.
On Heligoland.
Yes, on Heligoland.
On your own.
It was terribly laborious. I got extremely excited. I didn't understand matrix calculus then. It kept making mistakes. Then, at 3 in the morning, I finally got it. I was suddenly staring across the surface of a new atomic phenomenon. It was a strangely beautiful interior world. A world of pure mathematics. I got so excited I couldn't sleep.